Hi guys, it's me, Joseph again, and for this video that I will be dedicated to the Dragon Ball Z vlogs, I shall be covering the 11th episode of Season 2 of this show called Unexpected Problem. Even though I feel that there should be a word before unexpected, so that it should be an unexpected problem or the unexpected problem. Whatever, we're gonna do it, right? Now, this episode is kind of special for me because it's a very memorable episode in Goku's journey from Earth to Namek. But before we get into that, let me just say that this is the time that Vegeta is still trying to locate two Earthlings, Krillin and Gohan on Namek. And he didn't quite hone in his power of sensing people's auras or power levels before he blew away the door and it lost together on the planet. So he had to do it by just guessing it off the top of his head, pretty much. So all three of them, Krillin and Gohan, are cowering behind a rock because they really don't want to fight Vegeta, so they're hiding behind a big boulder. So that's fair enough, but Vegeta actually comes dangerously close to discovering them. And he comes in close to finding them, and right as Krillin is about to fight him and distract him so that they get Dendy out of there, because Dendy is pretty much defenseless against Vegeta at that point, expendable, until we find out that the kid's healing ability. A whale comes out of the ocean and turns up in the air. Now, this may seem like no big deal to most people, but I see it in a different light. Because of the fact that in Dragon Ball Time, he ended up fighting with a giant octopus squid, or whatever you call it, a big thing. I view this like a forerunner for that. Vegeta's sense bring them into almost being attacked by that whale, or the making whale. So that's just kind of funny the way that turns out. Although granted, it could just be coincidence, and they probably forgot about that by time point of view, but that's kind of a weird coincidence there. So anyway, he flies off of the ability that the power he sensed is probably the giant mammal in the water. So he thinks it's nothing, and then he wants to go find more drug balls, so that if he finds the balls and hides them, then it'll ruin Frieza's plan about gathering all the drug balls together and then making a wish for immortality. So that's kind of ruined in that regard. So in the meantime, Gohan, Krillin, and Dendy find Bulma in a little cave area underground in the Lookout Squad house. Now, this is funny because the geology of the cave that they're in matched exactly to the Cup Squad house. What the guys are that happy? The cave wasn't too big or too small for the house. It was just right. So, so that's kind of odd that the house was just built for just the cave space in it. So if you welcome them in and stuff, and tell them that Goku will be going back to the planet in 6 days, even though you hold up 5 fingers on a hand. So, now, the next part is I just got research for the Mexicans, because she says that, that they need a small child is a little mini Piccolo. So that's kind of neat and read to say that all the Mexicans look alike, especially when they're young like that. When they get old, they obviously diverge their appearance, but when they're young, on a Bulma, they're all the same. They all look alike, kind of like us white boys. So anyway, I don't like this idea about Bulma being somewhat racist, especially with the Mexicans that help her out in the future. I wonder if she feels the same way about Saiyans too. But anyway, the next part about it is the problem, the unexpected problem, like the unexpected journey. But that's probably just a coincidence that they named that. But yeah. So anyway, Goku doing a training under 20 times normal gravity, which he did say in his last episode that he was going to only do 10,000 sit-ups, and that will be it for that. But he's continuing to do more exercise on 20 times gravity. There's a little contradiction too. I guess he's going to get more bang for his buck. But anyway, that's something important. The important thing is that there's more superluminal communication with him and Dr. Breeze, the guy that invented resized the space pod into what he's traveling in now. So he's going in there. Well, unfortunately, it's in the middle of a meteor shower, or maybe an asteroid belt, and one of the asteroids hit the space pod, and dislodged one of the panels outside. So Goku got outside and fixed it with space glue. Yeah, I'm sure if he sniffs it, it'll probably give him space high. So he goes out there, he fixes it, he goes outside and tries to fix it. At first he fixes it with, he goes outside and then he gets blown away by the motion of the ship without his magnetic boots activated. So he goes flying backwards, even though the man can fly himself. And he had a spacesuit with a tether to the ship. So he flies back and climb back in there with the rope, with the tether. He's over there trying to help himself. I feel that he would have done it faster if this was like a real show. So anyway, he it gets all situated and everything, puts on his magnetic boots. And I feel that this is kind of like the self we're walking with that squeaky noise like that noise. So get over there and fix the panel with the space glue and stuff. And then and then he squeezed too much glue onto the panel, so much so that it gets stuck on his shoe, on his boot. And that's kind of weird because it, during the part where it got a lot, it created enough drag on the ship that the ship is actually going into a star at this point, a big star. So, Goku got run back into the ship and then reprogram it so that it course correct course so that it avoids the star and avoids getting melted. And let's see here now. He gets his boot stuck on the glue, and then he gets the other boot stuck on another pile of glue there. But so he's pretty much put there, and the ship is going directly into a gravity well for the big star. And the thing is that he ends up coming up with a solution to use the Kamehameha blast to get himself out of there. First of all, when he does it, he's like almost in the actual star itself. He's like in the upper atmosphere, so you see the flames come up and licking a space pod, and him too, in the suit and stuff. So it's a little bit, I feel like a little bit too late for that. But he does a Kamehameha blast right next time as he's about to collide with the surface of the star. And then for some reason the whole the space suit as well as the space pod don't melt in the process of getting almost fried to death. It could just be because it's engineering on the part of the pod itself, or maybe with the design that the Dr. Bruce put into it. But it's weird that nothing bad happened to that. So now this is the biggest question I have about this whole scene. It's undeniably awesome that Goku can use his Kamehameha attack not only once but twice to propel himself over the star, out of the gravity of the star himself. First he does do it, but then he gets that, he shoots the beam, then he gets built out, then it's not enough, so he gotta do it again. I think it's sucked back into the thing, the big sub zone. So then he gets the full power, and then he launches himself, he overcorrects himself to the point that you gotta go back to saying, you gotta correct the path again, so this time it's more corrected onto the pathway that you're going on. But that's not what went about it. I always thought that the Kamehameha, or any energy attack, has to be performed using your bare hands, or in his case, his bare feet. Otherwise, it doesn't work out because when with clothing, it's like has like a barrier effect where the chi or your aura can't go through the clothing. Apparently not in this case, because this is the one case I can think of besides the Saiyan Spring specialized gloves, I guess, where they it's kind of stupid too, but I guess they use it for specialized battle armor and stuff. So I love that with regular clothing, especially a spacesuit, that you can't use your chi or your blast or whatever. outside the suit. You know, the skin barrier problem there. So apparently Goku can do that. I guess he must form the energy outside of his suit. He's that powerful. And then beyond that, I wonder if it would apply if you use the kind attack with that workout, or if it would just burn up the suit from the inside out. So anyway, of course corrects himself. And it's very spectacular May move that could easily destroy Vegeta if he used the same power output as he did with the with that on Earth, and probably because of the extinction boost. Everyone's all happy, you know. When Dr. Bruce is happy, poor and Oolong are happy. So Dr. Bruce looks happy too. He's happy, and here now there's a case to be made that in the past comic book, when they want to carry it, they carrying and all that Goku can breathe in space, but still the comic gag for that. But in this one, and they also have up where Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz presumably can leave their space pods and then breathe in space, because I guess the atmosphere is leaking out of the pods and stuff, so they can breathe that in. But then in this part, they have where Goku leaves the booth attached to the hull of the ship and then goes back inside. Unless he's wearing airtight socks or whatever footwear he has left, you know, that's an open spot on his suit, a vulnerable spot. So therefore, it would lead to the conclusion that Goku can in fact breathe in space under no other comical type scenarios, like one of the carrot or carrot gang, something about like that. So that's the idea. But then he continued to train under 20 times normal gravity. Now, also I have to ask is that wouldn't the boots be on the surface of the spherical spaceship, producing a drag on it, so that would be another cost problem, like the panel did? You know, that's a good question, and I don't think that when they show the pilot on the planet, they actually show any more of the boots. Unless they got hung up on during the course of travel and stuff. That's pretty funny that they don't mention that ever again. You don't even see any of the blue spots unless it got burned up in space and whatnot. So anyway, this unexpected problem could be answer to what the other spaceship freezes and forces had to go through, you know, with the erratic bobbing, moving up and down, left and right in the space storm, the meteor storm. It'd be funny if it was the same storm that Goku went through. I don't think the Japan name for it. Yeah. But then Goku continued to train under the 20-time gravity and drink under there. And something funny is that when there was an alarm going off about the problem with the Hulk, and then the TV came down, Goku picked up the little timer watch there for an hour time limit for training for that day, and when he put it down when it fell on the ground, there was no indication that it was under 20 tons of gravity. It was just like a normal plop like you would expect from a regular one times gravity. Not under it's a little minor detail I noticed with that. And besides, whenever Goku goes to the bathroom under 20 tons of gravity, that must hurt like hell. Not to be gross or anything, but that's gotta be pretty painful. Anyway, I thank you for watching my video on my vlog of the 11th episode of the second season of Dragon Ball Z, named The Unexpected Problem. The thing was like pretty awesome, and as such, I give this my happy face and silver pool, because you really don't need to watch the whole thing. It's more filler, but it shows the power and the struggle of Goku, and how he's improved over this whole time. That now he's more than a match for Vegeta. And the other the basic soldier on that. I'm sure that at this point in the story, Goku could potentially beat Zarbon in monster form. Anyway, if you like what you see here, you want to see more of my channel, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Or if you want to contact me for any future information on my future videos, you can always call me or text me at my phone number at 631-707-3707. Or you can follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer at PNelsonPro. My email is jjsviewingchannel at gmail.com. So, I salute all you anime fans, all you Dragon Ball fans, sci-fi fans there. Peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys in Interland. And before I say goodbye, I must say that I think this episode is one of the first episodes with Vegeta said the word damn. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it's one of the first ones when they did the Funimation dub to show his badass nature. You can never hear any of the good guys say the word damn. Sayonara, hasta la vista, sayonara, ciao ciao, and be a